There's a place somewhere between beach and bustle, steeped in warmth, bursting with growth. A place where the cutting edge blends with the crafted edge, and community and connection form across classes and cultures. There is a place where people go shoulder to shoulder instead of head to head, where opportunity doesn't knock, it pounds. And the grind and the grand happen side by side. There is a place at the heart of a city where inspiration arrives in quiet moments and possibilities ring out in concert with our past. It's a place of nowness and newness, and you can do this. Where what comes next is for any of us to decide. A place to call home. A place called the University of Tampa.
Just another ordinary day at UT.
A very good first pitch to open the season from former Spartan Nico Saladino. Unfortunately, some of the other Spartan alumni did block the view, but still a great little celebration to kick off the season the right way. In just a few minutes' time, it'll be your number one ranked Tampa Spartans taking on Montevallo in Tampa's home opener. And we are ready to go at the Birdcage at the University of Tampa baseball field. It is Tampa's home opener as they look to make the three-peat happen. They started strong at Georgia College, and they host Montevallo for a weekend triple header for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Spartans take the field for the first time this season, and it'll be Robert Satin, the left-hander, on the mound to open up for Tampa. Coming off of a win last weekend out against Georgia College, he'll be looking to make it 2-0 on the season and bring the Spartans to 3-0. Montevallo 3-1 after a pretty active opening week of baseball. Let's give you a quick rundown for their starting lineup for this Friday night matchup. Leading off will be Hudson Allen, the shortstop. Batting second, it's McGuire Turner, the third baseman. Batting third, Evan Radford, the designated hitter. Batting fourth, Jack Fitzgerald, the right fielder. Batting fifth, it'll be Holland Brock, the first baseman. Batting sixth, it'll be Caleb Carley, the second baseman. Batting seventh, Ian Cartwright, the center fielder. Batting eighth, Christian Callagher, the catcher. And rounding out the order, it is Mason Woolever out in left field. The aforementioned Robert Satin takes the mound And Satin had a great opening outing, going 4 innings, striking out 4, keeping things scoreless with just 1 base runner surrendered. The left-hander will be looking for a strong outing today. He's got a lot of trust out of Coach Urso as Tampa's SP1, at least for the short term, maybe the long term. And given that it won't be opening day, he'll be able to go a little bit deeper than he did last time, depending on his success. Defensively, Tampa has Soto, King, and Evans in the outfield. Martinez, Ponce, Woodburn, and Vanacek from left to right in the infield. It'll be Johander Irigoyen behind home plate forming the battery. And leading off, it'll be the righty, Hudson Allen. Hudson Allen had an active opening weekend like a lot of the Montevallo offense. Picked up a home run and 2 RBIs, hitting .250 through those first 4 games. He's also active on the base path with a steal. First pitch from Satin, down low and in, side for ball 1. And a little bit of activity at the bench. I think he's talking to the camera person who was sitting by the dugout, just trying to get him out of the way. And purely a safety measure since foul balls could quickly go in that direction. That's John Bennett behind home plate. You've got Sam Birch as the infield umpire down the first base line. Second pitch from Satin, right down the middle, strike 1. And that'll bring the count to 1-1 to open the day. One from Satin to Allen. Right down the middle again, strike 2. Tampa opening with a lefty for the weekend series. Montevallo responds with an 8 right-handed batter lineup. Woollever, the only lefty, batting 9th. The 1-2 low and in. I think he was trying to go low with a slider there. And that'll bring the count to 2-2. 2-2 count on the way. Satin doing a good job in the opening at bat, but Allen hasn't needed a swing just yet. We'll see if he protects here. Yes, he does, and he misses. Swing and a miss. Satin's 5th strikeout of the season, 1 away. That'll bring up McGuire Turner. Turner had a bit of a quiet weekend. He's only hitting .083 to start the season. He did bring home an RBI. The only person not to bring home an RBI from the Montevallo lineup is Christian Callagher. Swing and miss, strike 1. Notably, Montevallo had 37 runs in their first 4 games, a pretty good tally. They did concede 32, so maybe not the most ideal start on defense. That is something that Coach Chandler Rose said he'd like Montevallo to improve upon as the season continues, but they've had great offensive resiliency so far. And we'll see if that keeps up today. But already 0-2 count, Satin in the driver's seat. This time going off speed to freeze Turner. Will he make it 2 for 2 on the strikeouts? The 0-2 from the stretch. Got him looking, strike 3. That'll bring up Evan Radford, the DH. Hasn't had the most power to start the season, but did bring home 3 RBIs. That puts him tied for 4th most in the Montevallo starting 9 today. The man on deck, Jack Fitzgerald, is the one to watch for, though. He opened the season with 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. Swing and a miss again. Montevallo has not been able to put a ball in play. Every single one of their swings, all 4 of them today, have been whiffs. 0-1 to the DH. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Another strong fastball. That's exactly where Satin wants it. Satin set. One more strike gets him out of the inning. And he's got him looking, strike 3. 3 up, 3 down. And he only needed 6 pitches to retire the final 2 batters. He strikes out the side to start the home opener, and Tampa will be looking to get to work when they And completing his warm-up will be Zach Wyatt, the Montevallo ace, opening the action today for the Falcons. He took a win the last time out, going 5 innings, striking out 8, giving up just 4 base runners and no runs. The best performance out of any of the Falcons starters. He'll be put to the test today against one of the best offenses in the nation. Even though Tampa doesn't have many returning starters, they did put up 18 runs over their 2 games against Georgia College. And here's your Tampa Spartans starting 9. Leading off will be Jordan Evans, the right fielder. Batting second, Jesse Ponce, the lone Spartan with a home run this season. Batting third, the veteran Braden Woodburn. Batting fourth, Jake Books. Batting fifth, Walker Vanacek. Batting sixth, Yohander Irigoyen. Batting seventh, Jack Martinez. Batting eighth, Javi Soto. And batting ninth, Spartan veteran Maddox King, who 2 years ago had his first career home run during the national championships. But it is a Spartan rookie in Jordan Evans. Although he is not a rookie in college baseball whatsoever, he was actually with Mississippi College last year. I believe he was here at the University of Tampa Stadium taking on Tampa in postseason play. He actually came on, I believe, as a pinch hitter potentially in one of the playoff games. Either way, first pitch of the game will miss for ball 1 from Wyatt. And it'll be 1-0 to Jordan Evans. Evans down the line and foul, takes a hard hop to the left of the third baseman. The Montevallo defense has Woolever in left field, Cartwright in center, Fitzgerald in right, Turner at third, Allen at short, Carley at second, Brock at first. Callagher forms the battery with Wyatt. So that'll bring it a 1-1 count to Jordan Evans. Inside, make it 2-1. Not a bad spot, but Evans doesn't go around. .333 in just 2 games this season for Evans at the plate. And he's going to get that number decreased just a little bit. So close, but can't beat the throw. What a diving grab by Turner at the hot corner. That one looked like it was going to skip into the outfield. But a very nice snag at third base by McGuire. Turner retires him. Jesse Ponce steps up to the plate. Tampa's got 2 left-handed batters in the lineup today. Ponce and Brooks, who are batting second and fourth, respectively. Ponce went yard against Georgia College, the only Spartan to go deep last weekend. But that was all Tampa needed. Defensively, they held Georgia College to 1 run in both outings, and Tampa scored plenty. I already mentioned they had 18 runs in that opening 2 games. 1-0. Good location inside from Wyatt, make it 1-1. Ponce able to get a read out of Wyatt as the at-bat continues. He's a junior, recently coming out of Northern Oklahoma Enid College. Low, just missing the zone. That's some good break on that 2-seamer, it looks like, from Wyatt. But he just couldn't clip the corner that time. And that'll put Ponce ahead of the count. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Two on the way to Ponce. Hit up the middle. This will be a slow roller. Ponce could beat it. Picked up at short, not in time. The first hit of the day for the Spartans. You can't fault the effort of Allen on that play. Got to the baseball, but Ponce had enough time to reach safely. That'll bring up Braden Woodburn. 1 on, 1 away for Tampa's number 2. Woodburn, one of the few returning players. I was able to chat with Coach Joe Ursa before the game, and he mentioned that this Tampa team will be looking for new leaders after so many of their veterans graduated last year. And you'd imagine that one of the guys Tampa will be looking to do just that, Braden Woodburn. He's been part of the 2024 and 2025 championship winning sides. Hitting .375 to start the year. He's also tallied an RBI. Down the line and foul. That could have actually brought Ponce home if it was fair. Make it 0-1. .374 average last season for Braden Woodburn. Slugged over 600. He also had 19 steals. Another pickoff throw. Ponce is safe. So far, it's been Woodburn and Evans, the only Tampa players to record steals. But Coach Rose has done his homework. He knows that Coach Joe Urso loves to be active on the base path. Tampa has the bats to play big baseball and hit for home runs, but they also love to execute small ball. Good job blocking that time by Callagher. Ponce, I think, was looking for the opportunity to jump and run to second. Make it 1-1 to Woodburn. We've already seen 2 disengagements out of Wyatt, but I don't think there's a disengagement rule here in D2. Another block as that breaking ball drops down low and make it 2-1 to Woodburn. Woodburn, one of the most disciplined players you'll see, someone who definitely fits that Urso batting mindset of pure discipline at the plate, something Tampa's really excelled at these last few years. Here's the 2-1. Woodburn gets a pitch he likes and he'll rip it to left field. 2 on, 1 away. Ponce is held up at second. But 2 back-to-back hits sets the table for Jake Brooks. Tampa able to get ahead in the count in both of their base hit at bats, and that's what Brooks will be looking to do himself. He transferred out of Coastal Carolina. Couldn't do too much last year with the team, but he did have an over 600 OPS. So far with the Spartans, hitting .429, and he's brought home 2 RBIs. And he'll take outside for ball 1. Wyatt looks to be in a little bit of discomfort after that pitch, but he's good to continue. 1-0 count now to Brooks. Lefty on righty advantage. Brooks fouls that one away. And that one rolls back off of the side netting. There is a pretty big net surrounding the birdcage here at the University of Tampa baseball field. Helps prevent balls from getting onto the streets, which are pretty busy at this time of day. Brooks once again fouls one away. He's a little bit late on that fastball, but he isn't getting bad contact. 1-2 though. First time Wyatt is purely ahead in the count this deep in the at-bat. He'd love a second out of the inning. Outside, great take by Brooks. Wyatt thought he would have had him frozen for strike 3. Make it a 2-2 count for the designated hitter. Vanacek on deck. Brooks ripped to center field. That one's got a chance. And it's going to roll off the wall. 1 run will score. Will they send him home? Yes. Woodburn heading to the plate. And there won't be a throw. A 2 RBI double by Jake Brooks. Nothing Tampa lead. It is Brooks who delivers. First pitch to Vanacek. He's going to get it through the first and second base hole, and they're going to send Brooks home. Make it 3-0 Tampa with back-to-back hits. But Brooks messed up the slide at the plate. He does have enough time to tag home base with his hand. He would have been in trouble, though, if Montevallo sent the ball home. That one might qualify for ESPN's not top 10, but Tampa extends their advantage as there will be a mound visit before Yohander Irigoyen gets a chance at the plate. If you're a Tampa fan, it's the exact start you wanted. Coming off of the 15-1 season opener, they now take a 3-0 lead in the first for the home opener. Still 1 away, although there is now a player at first base, potential double play on the board. That'll be something Irigoyen hopes to avoid. Congratulations to Vanacek. That's his first Spartan RBI. Brooks, on the other hand, already picked up 2 on the previous weekend and improves his tally to 4 on the season He also just scores as the base runner. But definitely not the slide he would have wished to have there. Definitely drew some laughs from the dugout, but hey, whatever gets the job done. One away, one aboard. Let's see how Wyatt recovers after 4 straight base runners and 3 runs coming home. First pitch from Wyatt to Irigoyen. Slider dropping down low, ball 1. That slider of his is something that's been improving over the offseason. That's what Coach Chandler Rose had mentioned to me before the game when I had a chance to catch up with him. Quick pickoff throw. Vanacek is safe. Throughout his time at Montevallo, Wyatt's also been able to improve on his fastball command and become more mature as a pitcher, get more confidence and more poise. Although he's definitely receiving a tough test of that today against the defending champions. Even with a lot of roster turnover, Coach Urso knows how to recruit and bring fresh players into the program. And already it is 2 transfers in Books and Vanacek that have delivered. Vanacek safe on another pickoff throw. Last season, Vanacek was at the State College of Florida, picked up 15 RBIs and a .360 average. He actually played under former Tampa assistant Shane Rowland back in high school. On the ground to third, there won't be time for 2, but they do have time for 1. Runner goes to second, 2 away. So Vanacek in scoring position. It'll bring up Jack Martinez with 2 outs in the inning. Martinez, no RBIs in the season, although he did pick up some offense earlier in the series. 500 on base percentage for the season. Hopefully he'll get on board right here. High and inside, that slider clips the zone for strike 1. That's an important out for Zach Wyatt to get after 4 straight base hits. He gets out number 2. Put him 1 step closer from getting out of the jam. That slider gets him 1 strike closer from getting out of the jam. 0-2 to Martinez. Hit sharply to short, but they can probably end the inning. The throw is not, yes, in time. Not in time. From our point of view, it looked like he signaled out, but Martinez is safe. Great hustle from Martinez. Another base hit, another infield hit, crucially, and that'll bring up Javi Soto with runners at the corners. Soto brought home 2 runs last weekend against Georgia College. The transfer out of Santa Fe had a solid opening weekend. Santa Fe College, the JUCO program, has given Tampa a lot of their players over the last few seasons. And Soto is another one to add to the list. Last year had a .305 average with Santa Fe, also brought home 4 home runs. 1-0 to Soto. Sharply to short, picked up on a diving grab at third. His throw, 1 hop, 2 hop into the glove. That'll end the inning. Great defense by Turner at the hot corner in the first, but it wasn't enough to keep Tampa off the board. 5 hits, 3 runs, and although they strand 2, it's exactly how the Spartans wanted to start their season on offense as they'll enter the top of the second, leading 3-0 for their home opener. We'll be right back with more action on the SSC Digital Network. And we're back at the Birdcage. I'm Taylor Storley, flying solo tonight as Tampa continues their home opener. A great showing for both Spartan and Montevallo fans, although fans of the Falcons will be hoping for a better top of the second. Satin struck out the side in the first. He'll be taking on Jack Fitzgerald. The first baseman, the redshirt sophomore, had a really good opening weekend. He's hitting .538. He had 3 long balls and 11 RBIs to start the season. It'll be the toughest test for Satin so far out of the Montevallo lineup. First pitch outside, ball 1. That's the first ball we've seen out of Satin in 2 at-bats. Had 6 straight strikes to end the first after a 2-2 strikeout in his first batter. Swing and a miss, another whiff for Satin. Montevallo has not been able to put the ball in play yet, nor have they been able to foul anything off. No contact on Satin's stuff so far. Makes sense, though. Satin had a high strikeout rate last year out of the bullpen with some multi-inning outings, and he's showcasing it right here, make it 1-2. It was 45 strikeouts in 37 frames, and he's now already got 7 in 5. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. It is 4 strikeouts already for Satin. And that'll bring up Holland Brock with 1 away. He's a junior out of Fairhope, Alabama. Previously at Lurleen B. Wallace Community College. He's also having a strong start to his tenure with the Falcons. .313, 5 RBIs. He also has a home run. And he'll be the first player to get contact on the ball. Fouled away for strike 1. Oh and 1, Satin to Brock. High and inside, almost hit him 1-1. Coach Urso said that the command of the high fastball is going to be the big thing to watch for Satin. That's where he had command issues last season, but he's continually been improving on that, and we've already seen that so far in his first 4 plate appearances. And there he goes on the outside corner, strike 2. He is back in the driver's seat against Brock. And Montevallo, I think, have been struggling in terms of the strike zone today. Satin's already retired 2 players looking. The 1-2, tipped back. That's the first 2-strike foul ball for Montevallo. So Satin will need something else to get a whiff. One-two on the way. Got him looking. No! That one looked really good, but must have landed just a little bit low. Make it 2-2. That looked like where one of his previous strikeouts went. That'll level things up in the count, although the advantage still to Satin, 2-2. This time gets a half-hearted swing for strike 3. And it is 5 Ks already for Satin. That'll bring up Caleb Carley with 2 away. Carley only 167 batting average in the first 4 games, but he did tally 4 RBIs. He hasn't gone yard yet. One of the few players in the lineup that hasn't had a home run. Pretty funny to see Tampa with 1 home run so far, and Montevallo with over 10 to start the season. Another swing and a miss. I should have been keeping track of the whiffs a little bit earlier. He's almost at 10 on the day today. Stellar opening for Satin. 2 outs, 1 strike to Carley. That one high. Doesn't bait another swing. Make it 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 from the lefty. Swing and a miss again. Hits the outside corner for strike 2. 1 more strike, and it would be another quiet frame for the Falcons. 1-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. 6 up, 6 down. 6 down crucially on strikes. What a run for Robert Satin in the early going. It's as close to immaculate as you can get. 6 strikeouts to start the day. Tampa holds on to a 3-0 lead. When we come back, it'll be Maddox King leading off. And we're back. More action from the birdcage. Wyatt warming up as he's ready to continue. Definitely a bit of a shaky start for Wyatt, but he's not alone as the offense hasn't been able to get anything going either. Wyatt does have a lot of trust from his coach, though, and he will be facing 9-1-2 to start the second inning. Notably, he's facing off against a rusty Maddox King. King recently returning from a mild injury. Hasn't had a lot of chances to warm up. Didn't feature against Georgia College, but he's quickly gone from one of the bright young stars of the Spartans to one of their seasoned veterans who has 2 rings, including those beautiful 2025 championship rings, as Wyatt misses outside for ball 1. Since day one, Maddox King has been a breakout Tampa player. His father was also a former Spartan who was part of the 1998 championship winning side. As the count goes 2-0 to Maddox King. Last year, Maddox King just under 300 on his batting average, but he did have an over 800 OPS. Love to see him continue to grow this season as he gets his first snap bat of the season. Fouled away. 2-1. Maddox King still in a very good hitter's count for the moment. That's also a crucial strike for Wyatt to get. He hasn't conceded a walk yet, but notably, he's conceded 5 hits. He also hasn't had a 3-ball at bat yet, but here it is, his first one of the day. 3-1 to Maddox King. Jordan Evans on deck. Ball 4, great take by King, and he'll get on base. So Evans will get a second chance at the plate today. He had a hit robbed by an excellent play out of McGuire Turner at the hot corner. He made an excellent diving grab on a sharp grounder. Quick pickoff throw for Maddox King. As they ought to, King is one of the more aggressive players on the base path for the Spartans. Last season, picked up 9 steals on 12 attempts. And if there's anyone who would go, I think it would be King. He stays put. That one's foul. Urso having to jump out of the way. Good reactions from Coach on that foul ball. Make it 0-1. Tampa's off to a 3-0 lead with Satin performing excellently so far. They'd love to extend it. And they're going to get another base runner. That one drifts inside and hits Evans. Not what you're looking for if you're Wyatt. His command hasn't been too bad, but he has put him in some bad counts in the past. And this time puts him in an awkward position in terms of runners on base. The Montevallo bullpen remains empty, but if Ponce can deliver a base hit right here, I wouldn't be surprised if they had to send someone out just to get loose. Second start of the season for Wyatt. Even if things go south, you might want to keep him in there just to keep shaking the rust off the arm as the season opens up. Ponce squares up for a bunt, and there's the patented Urso small ball that you've also grown to expect out of the Spartans. Even out of the only player to hit a home run this year for you, Tampa, Coach Urso won't shy away from advancing the runners. Gets it down the third base line. It's going to roll foul, make it 1-1. I think the corner infielders still weren't expecting it out of Montevallo, but now I imagine they'll play a little bit closer. I wonder if that'll open some space for a little blooper if Ponce wants to take a swing at it. Ponce had an above 360 batting average and an above 470 on base percentage in both of his seasons at Northern Oklahoma Enid. Very good numbers at the plate, and they are translating so far pretty well for the Spartans too. Ponce gets a brilliant bunt down, but good discipline by Turner to let it roll foul, 1-2. That'll probably kill the sacrifice opportunity. I like the maturity out of the redshirt junior. Turner out of Helena, Alabama. And now we'll be able to step a little bit further back as Ponce will surely be swinging away. Double play opportunity is possible if Ponce puts it on the ground. But I'm looking over at the hot corner right now, and there's a bit of a gap between the shortstop, who's kind of holding Maddox King at second, and Turner, who's right next to the bag. Hot swing and a miss. That was a half-hearted attempt and the first strikeout of the day for Wyatt. One away for Braden Woodburn, who will be swinging away here. Allen shifts a little more to the left. He might have been a little bit closer to the bag due to the left-handed batter as well. Not an aggressive shift from Montevallo, but something solid. That one's going to be hit to first base. They're not going to go for two. Instead, Brock will hold on to it for out number 2. I like the idea. He did have the chance at a double play there, but decides just to secure that second out and then try their luck against Jake Books. Books was able to deliver a 2 RBI double back in the first inning, the lone extra base hit for the Spartans. He also then came home to score, did have an awkward slide into home plate, although that might be Books getting accustomed to the Tampa turf, as that one's going to be chopped to first base. Takes a weird hop, but Brock gets it to end the inning. Tampa set the table thanks to a walk and hit by pitch, but both runners will be stranded as it's a quiet second inning for the Spartans. We're on our way to the top of the third from the Birdcage. Be back with more action right after this. What a start so far for Robert Satin. The left-hander has struck out the first 6 batters faced. Cartwright, Kelleher, and Woolever await for the brand new inning. I'm Taylor Stoley. You're watching the SSC Digital Network. Thanks for tuning in. The first of a 3-game series for Tampa and Montevallo. Tampa all-time is 3-1 against the Falcons. They've faced a handful of times throughout both programs' tenures. Montevallo would love to continue their 3-1 start to the season. Tampa looking to continue an undefeated start. First pitch on the way from Satin. Swing and a miss, strike 1, and he picks up yet another whiff to open the inning. Cartwright had a home run and 2 RBIs. He also picked up a steal during last weekend's series. Let's see what the righty does on the 0-1 count. He'll take inside, ball 1. That one dropped low and in. Pretty good changeup from Satin alongside that fastball, slider, and his brand new cutter that he's been working on as well. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Having a cutter is always very nice if you're a left-handed arm. You're always going to face more right-handed batters at the plate. Gives you a good weapon against opposite-handed opponents. 1-2 on the way from Satin. And tipped into the glove for strike 3. It's lucky number 7. One away to bring up Christian Kelleher. The catcher has yet to get on base this season. He also didn't bring home an RBI in the opening weekend. But let's see what the junior out of Chelsea, Alabama can do. Swing and a miss, strike 1 again. Satin is absolutely feeling everything he's throwing tonight. He's got to be up to 15 whiffs in the ballgame. Just high, just inside for ball 1. A couple of groans from the Spartans crowd, but I don't think Satin's too worried. 1-1 count now to Callagher. Swing and a miss. Gets right back in front of him, 1-2. Taking a look at the replay from our broadcast angle, I do agree with the ball one call. The fans disagree, but that center field camera does show it just went a little bit inside. Strike zone kind of level today in terms of how wide it is. But that one's right on the money. Strike 3. The third Montevallo player to go down looking. 2 away for Mason Woollever. Woollever hitting .412. He was another player that Coach Chandler Rose wanted to highlight before the series. And he'll pop this one up and foul, make it 0-1. He also had a home run, 3 RBIs, and he's the team leader with 2 steals. Good stuff for the freshman out of Sarasota. He went to IMG Academy, and he'll foul that one away for strike 2. Woollever is a local product. He is at a opposite-handed disadvantage, but given that he's only the second player to foul off pitches against Satin, he's currently having one of the better at-bats comparatively to the rest of the Falcons roster. Satin looking for another quick inning. 0-2 on the way to Woollever. Just outside. That one dripped a little too low that time around. Good take by Woollever, 1-2. 1-2 now from Satin. Down low. This time tried to drop the slider inside. Make it 2-2. The first time he's hit a 2-ball count since the second inning. That was in the at-bat against Holland Brock. That ended with a swing and a miss for strike 3 on this exact pitch. 2-2 now to Woollever. Ripped. 1 hop to Woodburn. The strikeout streak ends, but it's 3 straight frames of empty offense from the Falcons. And the dominant start continues for Robert Satin, inning over. We'll be right back with more action on the SSC Digital Network, 3-0. And we're back at the birdcage. Wyatt did a good job getting out of the jam, and that is part of the resiliency that Coach Chandler Rose talked about with his side leading into the games today. He was hoping for his team to improve on defense in this series against the Spartans, but when you're going up against Tampa, that is easier said than done. Leading off for you, Tampa, will be Walker Vanacek. He picked up his first Spartans RBI to go to the new frame. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. Strike 1 to Vanacek. He was able to connect on the first pitch against White in his last plate appearance. 5 hits on the day for Tampa, and they generated 2 runners without a hit in the previous inning with a walk and hit by pitch. Chopped foul ball. Not what you want if you're Vanacek. That'll make it 0-2. Oh-2 on the way. Got him looking. Strike 3. Beautiful slider. Second strikeout of the day. 1 away in the bottom of the third. Irigoyen ready to go again. He grounded out to third last time. This year, he's finally got the room to be the full-time #1 catcher for the Spartans. Split duties with Spartans veteran Santiago Garavito last year, and he'll fall to 0-2 today. A first pitch ground out for out number 2, and that'll bring up Jack Martinez with the bases empty. Martinez singled on the first pitch in his previous at-bat. He advanced Vanacek to third, but those two got stranded as there's strike one from Wyatt. There were some players moving down to the Montevallo bullpen, but it remains empty as Wyatt looks a lot more comfortable after conceding those 2 base runners. Ripped down the line, that is fair. It'll be extra bases. Rolling all the way to the wall, Woolever gets there to prevent a triple, but it's a 2-out double for Martinez. Second extra base hit of the day for the Spartans to bring up Javi Soto. Last time out, Soto stranded 2 on the base path, grounding out to third. Most of the groundouts today have been scooped up by Turner at the hot corner. That previous hit from Martinez was a little too hot to handle and too high to handle. Good block by Callagher, 1-0. We'll see if Wyatt's rhythm gets shaken up here after his 5 straight out streak came to an end. 1-0, hit up the middle. That's going to get through and make it 4-0 Tampa. Ooh, it's bobbled in center field. Running to second, he is safe. Good reactions by Soto to see the bobble. I think that'll get a single and error called on the play. However, that run was scoring no matter what, so it will be an RBI for Soto. That is his 3rd RBI of the year. Here comes Maddox King in his first at-bat of the season. He drew a walk, and he made it to third, but got stuck there. Let's see if King can pick up his first hit of the season. And he'll send that one deep and foul. And that is a ball that'll land on campus over the net. I see a couple of fans out there by the bushes where it likely landed, right next to one of the dorms and the Pepin Stadium field. Another one hit that direction, but this time falls back in play off the net. And by in play, I mean well behind the dugout. That is strike 2 on the foul ball. 1-2 now to Maddox King. 0-2 now to Maddox King. Can Wyatt leave one on the board? Not yet. That's going to miss down low and make it 1-2. Good block again by Callagher. Some of those sliders haven't hit where Wyatt's wanted them, but Callagher hasn't let anything get by him for a wild pitch. Tampa also hasn't tested the arm in terms of stolen bases yet. 1-2 on the way to Maddox King. King up the middle, takes a high hop. Good grab at second. First baseman's not ready for the throw. And they say that he's out, and that'll end the inning. Wow, close call at first. Ty went to the fielder, and it'll end the inning 4-0 Tampa. Tampa would have had a 5th if not for great reactions by Carly, but notably, Brock almost messed up by being off the bag. We'll be back in the top of the 4th. And we're back at the birdcage. One thing you might notice out in right field is the brand new scoreboard. Yes, we've got a digital scoreboard now here at the U Tampa baseball field. Something pretty cool that is new for 2026. Taylor Storley bringing you the action. Tampa leads 4-0 with flawless offense and flawless defense. 3 up, 3 down, 3 times in a row for Robert Satin. He's trying to keep the good times rolling. Hudson Allen gets his second try right here. He went down on strikes back in the first. First pitched on the way from Satin. Swing and a miss. It's yet another whiff from Robert Satin. And he's got to have at least 20 in the ballgame today. Brilliant stuff with his fastball and his other offerings. Montevallo have just been completely silenced in the early goings. Tipped foul, make it 0-2. Satin had an 8-player strikeout streak come to an end. I'll check with Coach Joe Urso on whether that is a team record or not. I'd imagine it's pretty close to up there. The all-time single-game strikeout record is held by Bo Donaldson back in 1996. Did it against Florida Tech. Make it 9 for Satin. 3 straight to retire Allen for the second time today. Second at bat for Turner. He went down looking earlier. I imagine he'll be a little more aggressive protecting, and he'll swing and miss at the very first pitch. 0-1 Satin to Turner. Turner's had great defense, but the numbers at the plate have been a little bit quiet to start the season. Obviously, you got to take every single batting average number with a grain of salt in the early goings, as that one's fouled away for strike 2. Even great numbers like Fitzgerald hitting over 500, they probably won't last too long. Although if Fitzgerald continues to play at the level that Coach Rose believes he can, he could be one of the top conference players for Montevallo this season. Let's see how Turner does on the 0-2 against Satin. Ripped down the line and foul. That was the cleanest swing we've seen out of Montevallo today. Would have been extra bases. Instead, it'll be 0-2. That'll also end any hopes of an immaculate inning out of Satin, as he had 5 straight strikes to start the frame. Pitch count pretty low for Satin. We'll see how deep he can go today. 0-2 on the way. Just a little high. I think it was a good framing by Irigoyen that got some of the Spartans fans hoping that would be another called strike 3. 3 batters have gone down looking today for the Falcons. Make it 1-2. That one chopped on the ground and foul, so it'll stay 1-2. One and two from Satin to Turner. 2 straight foul balls. And a third one sent right to the dugout. Good diving grab by one of the assistants or players there. Just out of reach. So a really good lengthy at bat here from Turner, trying to add to the pitch count, which has been pretty low for Satin so far. Just a shade under 50. And it'll keep it alive again. 3 straight foul balls, 4 in the at-bat. And that time, not a great pitch to go around on, the high fastball. But he gets away with it with a little tip. 1-2, Satin to Turner. Popped up. That one's high into the night sky. Vanacek settles under it. He's going to make the catch. 2 away to bring up Evan Radford. Radford went down looking to end the first inning. Top of the fourth continues. Tampa still leading 4-0. Three RBIs on the year for Radford. He'd need to go yard if he wants to improve that tally, as that's going to be strike 1, tipped foul. I think the fastball has been what Montevallo have been struggling to keep up with today. A lot of swings and misses on it, especially if it's getting mixed up well with that brand new cutter of his. Outside, missing the zone. Make it 1-1. Already a better at bat for Radford than last time. We went down on 3 straight strikes. Swing and a miss, though. Make it 1-2. One more strike would make it another clean frame from Satin. And keep Tampa up 4-0 through 4. Well, rather, 3.5. The 1-2. Oh, so close. A lot of groans across the fan base. And that time, I'm leaning a little bit closer to sympathizing with Spartans fans. But you know what they say, you can't fight City Hall. 2-2, forthcoming to Evan Radford. And imagine the senior will try to protect. That time down low. That was a good pitch to try to get him to go on, and the count goes full. Jack Fitzgerald on deck. You'd imagine that Radford gets a challenge pitch right here. 3-2. Satin to Radford. Got him looking. Strike 3. And it is 10 Ks on the day for Robert Satin. Through 4 frames, no one's gone aboard. What a start from Tampa's brand new ace. As Tampa holds on to the lead, it'll be the top of the order when we come back. So it was a rough start of the game for Zach Wyatt, but he has battled brilliantly these last few innings. Despite the Soto RBI, he's only allowed 1 run in the last 3 frames, or 2 frames. Now we'll face the top of the order again from you, Tampa, including Jordan Evans, Jesse Potts, and Braden Woodburn. Evans, 0 for 1 so far. He got hit by a pitch last time. We'll see what the Spartans' leadoff man can do. Jordan Evans transferred out of Mississippi College. You already mentioned that. Put on a 10-20 season last year with 13 long balls and over 20 steals on the base path. Outside of college, he aspires to work in medical device sales. 1-0 now. Actually, no, sorry. Got the wrong player note. Make it 1-0 and make it 2-0 now. The bullpen remains empty for Montevallo. That one's going to be chopped foul, make it 2-1. So the 2-1 on the way. High and inside and hit him again. Second time, Evans gets plunked. Doing a good job of shrinking the zone to help him get on board. That'll bring up Jesse Potts for the 3rd time today. Struck out and singled. He came home in the 1st inning after singling. He was the first strikeout victim for Wyatt. Make it 1 walk and 2 strikeouts on the game today. So not a bad strikeout to walk rate. You also had the 2 hit by pitches, and that number's a little bit weaker. 1-0. Jesse Ponce has been definitely impressive so far for the Spartans. The junior keeping up his impressive on-base regimen, and of course he's the only Spartan with a long ball this season, as there's another pickoff throw towards Evans. Evans is someone they want to keep an eye on. He's had 2 steals this season, 5 in total for the Spartans, 2 from Evans, 3 from Woodburn. Wonder if any of those steals were double steals, stealing second and then stealing third. Well, there goes Evans, and there goes Ponce, swinging a drive. There it goes, see ya! 2-run shot from the shortstop. It's a big boom for Jesse Ponce, his second of the season, and it is 6-0 Spartans. A perfectly executed hit and run. Wyatt left it too far over the plate. Funny enough, Ponce wasn't even a huge home run threat at Northern Oklahoma. He had 4 in the entirety of last season as the count goes 1-0, and he's already have that total in about 10% of the games. 1-0 on the way to Braden Woodburn. That one's lined and caught. Didn't have enough air to get into the outfield. And actually, it did hit the ground. I missed the initial bounce. Good throw from Allen, 1 away. That's an important out for Wyatt to get after the previous play. And that'll bring up Jake Brooks. Had a 2 RBI double back in the first, grounded out in the second, leaving 1 on the board. Let's see what Brooks can do right here as that one misses outside for ball 1. 6-0 Spartans here in the bottom of the 4th. Outside again, 2-0. .429 entering this weekend in terms of batting. But again, take the numbers with a grain of salt until we're about 10 to 15 games through the season. Ball 3. On deck is Vanacek. That is a matchup that is more favorable for Wyatt. Vanacek has had some success. He's also 1 for 2 on the day. We'll see if Wyatt finds the zone against the D1 transfer. Yes, he does. 3-1. The pitch count is somewhat high for their starter. No action from their bullpen yet. Swing and a miss. Brooks just got a little under that one, and the count goes full. Fouled away. Brooks stays alive. Back in 2022, he was a top 500 prospect in that high school class before committing to Coastal Carolina. Payoff pitch. Did he go? No, he did not. Ball 4. A 1-out walk puts Brooks on first and Vanacek at the plate. Second walk of the day for Wyatt. The command hasn't been too bad from Wyatt. He just couldn't close out that at bat after getting it back to 3-2 from 3-0. RBI single back in the first for Vanacek. Swing and a miss. The sweeping slider dropping all the way down. Now is a little bit closer to a curveball in terms of that sharp drop. Either way, it gets the job done to make it an 0-1 count. Time called by the batter. 0-1. That one missing low. 1-1. Double play opportunity is on the board for Montevallo. They'd love to get some weak contact out of Vanacek. Swing and a miss. Callagher, good block on the slider way down low. So Vanacek behind 1-2. Time called again. 2-2. So I think a violation was called on Montevallo there. And that'll add a ball to the count. And someone from the Montevallo bench isn't super happy about it. That has Coach John Bennett with a message over to the dugout. You can't fight City Hall after all. 2-2 on the way to Vanacek. Small lead for Books. He's not going to run just yet. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for Wyatt. 2 away for Irigoyen. Irigoyen's the only Spartan not to get on base today. He had 2 groundouts to open the game. Irigoyen will be looking to make up for that right here. Quiet opening weekend, but we know Irigoyen can always explode onto the scene. Ball 1, just a little bit away. Definitely a flexible strike zone. It's not too big, but there have been some close calls going the way of the pitchers. Definitely feel Wyatt hasn't had too many of those go his way, like that one. Here's the 1-0. That one's missing a bit lower, 2-0. If that first pitch was debatable, this one definitely wasn't. That was just a clean miss and a clean take by Irigoyen. Irigoyen's another player to come from a community college out of Seminole State. And a pretty good year last year as there's another check throw to first base. 4 home runs, almost a 400 on base percentage, and just shy of a 500 slugging percentage, 476 on the year. 2-0 to Irigoyen. Fouled away, make it 2-1. Wonder if Irigoyen will really be the everyday catcher. You've got some players like Vanacek, who's at first base today, that could also fill in behind home plate. Also, the JV star, Drew Kennedy, who led JV roster with a .329 average last year. And the umpire is telling Javi Soto to get back into the dugout to pause his warm-ups. 2-1 on the way. Good slider, just a little inside. He actually did get a strike earlier. I think that might have been against... Was it against Irigoyen? He did a similar pitch earlier in the game that did clip the top corner. But this time it's going to bring the count to 3-1. And there's Jack Martinez on deck. 2 hits on the day for Martinez. Fouled back. 3-2, full count. Runner will be going. Definitely no reason not to send the runner with 2 away here. And even though Books might not be the biggest base-stealing threat, if Irigoyen can put one into the outfield, even with the deep outfield, you probably get him to third or home. Let's see how Irigoyen approaches the payoff pitch from Wyatt. 3-2 on the way. Hit on the ground, third. Picked up by Turner. And that'll retire the side. Good lengthy at bat by Irigoyen, but he stays off the base path as Wyatt strands a runner. But the damage was done by Jesse Potts. 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 stranded, no errors. Tampa is now up 6-0 as we head to the top of the 5th. So pretty interesting. Got some middle inning trivia here at the Birdcage today. The question on the board was in 2025, who did Tampa face in the National Championship Series? It was Central Missouri. That's the correct answer. And it was an entertaining series. It was really capped off by that grand slam from Cole Russo. The shot heard around the world. It took a pretty solid Spartans lead and put it out of reach for Tampa to come home as national champs. We've seen a little bit of fireworks from the Spartans today. Montevallo hoping to do some of their own. As you mentioned, they have 37 runs from their first 4 games, but they're just going to be looking for someone to get on the bases, as Satin has been flawless in the early goings. Fitzgerald, Brock, and Carly are due up for the brand new frame, and it'll be Fitzgerald getting ready to go. He was someone that Coach Rose had talked about pregame as someone who's been really performing well to start the season. He went down on strikes, though, back in the second. Here he is for the top of the 5th. First pitch from Satin. Ooh, that one deflects off Irigoyen in an awkward way. Strike 1. The umpire is going to give Irigoyen just a little space as they set up for the next pitch. Fitzgerald would love to keep his batting average around 500, although it might have dropped by about 10 or 20 points from that first at bat. Those numbers very volatile to start the season. 6-0 Tampa, 0-1 to Fitzgerald. On the ground to third. That's foul, make it 0-2. Taking a look ahead as the series continues tomorrow. The likely starters will be Mason Creasy and John-Luke Glanton. Glanton had 6 strikeouts in 4 frames last weekend for the Spartans. Creasy had an okay outing for Montevallo. The 0-2, swing and a miss. A vicious at-bat once again from Satin. Make it 11 strikeouts on the day. Last season, Satin had a great tally of 45 and 37 innings. And even though he mixed starts and appearances out of the bullpen, this is comfortably his best career performance with Tampa. But is it going to be no longer perfect? No! Great running catch by Soto as that stayed in the air. Very first pitch swing. Brock puts it in play, 2 away in the top of the 5th. And that'll bring up Caleb Carly. Good swing by Brock, though. He found a pitch he wanted, but he just couldn't get it down. Could have been extra bases if it stayed on the ground. Carly struck out last time to end the second. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Well, he certainly has 20 whiffs now. He'll be getting close to the 25 tally soon. Satin stuff, world class today. Can't even call it a lead anymore. Fouled back, strike 2. That first pitch flyout might have been the best thing to happen for Satin, because as his pitch count is now just about to hit 60, he's got a chance to retire the side with one more pitch. The 0-2 to Carly. Hit sharply to short. Bounces away on the diving grab. It's the first hit for the Falcons. Someone in the booth wanted to give that as an error, but nope. That was a very clean base hit from Caleb Carly. So that'll break up the perfecto and no-no bid. First base runner of the day for the Falcons. It's Ian Cartwright now with the man at first. Good job there by Carly getting on board. Swing and a miss. Yet another whiff there from Satin for strike 1. Now the question will be how deep Satin can go. He's no longer in line for a perfect game or no-hitter, so no real reason to make him go the distance if you don't have to. Coach Urso said that Satin will be a player that he relies a lot upon this season. He's graduated from a guy who was a swing man out of the bullpen into the bona fide ace of the team. And, well, he is living up to the billing today with an absolutely otherworldly start. There is a hit on the hit column, but with a 6-run lead, he's got another chance to end the frame. 2 strikes to Cartwright. Off the bench, Tobin Moran getting some extra balls for the umpire. And one of them thrown back to the mound for Satin, the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strikes out the side. You don't need a perfect game to have history. Because with 12 strikeouts on the day, you would be hard-pressed to find a better Spartan start than this in the history books. Stellar work from Satin. We'll see if he's back for the 6th when we come back. But for now, through 4.5, Tampa leads 6-0. It's not the ideal start for Zach Wyatt so far. 4 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs surrendered. But he has been able to work himself out of a few jams. He's actually landed 6 Spartan runners that have gotten stuck on the base path. This will likely be his final frame, trying to go 5 solid innings. He's on 77 pitches, as he'll open against Jack Martinez, Javi Soto, and Maddox King. Shout out to Jack Martinez. He's had 2 hits today, including an extra base hit. He needs a triple and home run for the cycle. Keep in mind, those are the hardest parts of the cycle to get. Strike 1. What a day for Robert Satin. We do have to wait and see if he's going to be back for the 6th. Absolutely stellar stuff on the mound. He is in line for the win. And if Tampa's offense can get some more damage, that win would pretty much be secured lock and key as the count goes 0-2. Coach Urso also mentioned that this week will probably be the first time we really get to see Tampa's middle relievers in action, as that one's fouled away. Tampa did have to use some higher leverage relievers in Game 2 against Georgia College. We also got to see a save get recorded for that weekend by Sammy Bear. There was no save needed in that 15-1 win to start. And as things stand, they wouldn't need a save as they lead 6-0. Montevallo do have a lefty and righty warming up out of the bullpen, either to come in via emergency or once we hit inning number 6. Up high, make it 2-2. Great take by Jack Martinez. This is the longest at-bat he's had today. He had the double where he eventually scored on the second pitch of the at-bat. He came home on the RBI by Javi Soto, who's on deck. Down in the dirt. Count goes full. Wyatt not happy with how that one slipped out of the hand. But you got to say, Wyatt's really been resilient on the mound today. He's had some hiccups, but he hasn't let them get to him too badly. Usually recovering well. After that 2-run shot by Ponce, he recorded 3 outs and just a walk in the middle. But that's going to be ball 4, his 3rd walk of the night. A lengthy battle won by Martinez. That'll bring up Javi Soto for the 2nd time today. Soto's a junior out of Santa Fe College. Throughout his entire high school tenure, he kept his GPA over 3.4. Really putting the term student-athlete to work. I always love to see that. So one of the shorter players on the Spartans roster, 5'7". Myself, I'm 5'8", so I love a short king at the plate. And he has delivered so far with some big hits this season. Make it 0-1. Once again, checked on the runner, that being Jack Martinez. 20 steals last season with Hillsborough Community College. So they've got the right idea, trying to make sure he's not running. Tampa's only tried 1 steal. And on that same pitch, Jesse Ponce took it deep as the count goes 0-2. Ended up being a very nice hit and run for Tampa on that play. That's what took the scoreline from 4 to 6-0. Another pickoff on the 0-2. Also one of the longer at-bats Soto has seen. He delivered both of his plate appearances on 1-0 counts. Runner goes, fouled away. That time the hit and run will send the runner back to first. Martinez probably would have been safe on a swing and a miss. Would have been one in scoring position with one away. Strike three, just clips the inside corner. Soto backed away, and that was the wrong move as he goes down looking. Fourth strikeout for Wyatt, and that'll bring up Maddox King. Great location that time around. That time Martinez stayed put on the 2-strike call, so the double play still open. He'll do another quick pickoff throw. Martinez back in time. Maddox King walked and grounded out in his first 2 at-bats. Left a runner in second back in the 3rd inning. And this time he'll convert with a single up the middle. Runners at first and second, one away. Converts on the 0-0 count. Top of the order, Jordan Evans gets a 4th chance at the plate against Wyatt. And this is, again, 4th trip through the order where you might get a little bit worried about keeping the starter in. Can Wyatt get out of the frame? 1 out, 2 on. Evans got hit by a pitch twice in a row. This time he'll take strike 1 on the slider. Hitting Evans actually has kind of set up that first pitch strike. He's going to be a little more wary of some of those inside fastballs and sliders. That one drifts right down the middle, freezing Evans for strike 1. 0-1 to Evans. 0-2 to Evans. Another sharp slider. And Evans sees 2 strikes against him for the first time today. Wyatt would love a 5th strikeout on the day. He had 8 back in this season opener. That one's going to be lined to center field. Will it drop as a blooper? Yes, it will. Bases loaded. No, they're going to send the runner home. Play at the plate. And they got him. Runners will advance to 3rd and 2nd. Rough collision at the plate with Callagher. But also a rough collision for the base runner, Jack Martinez. 2 away, runners at 3rd and 2nd. But more importantly, they are going to check on both players who went down on the play. That is going to be a single, as the throw to home is what advanced both runners to 3rd and 2nd. Martinez looking a little bit better than Callagher after the collision, but a rough hit on the play for both. I'd imagine it'll be the day done for Martinez, keeping him healthy for the rest of the series. We'll see how Callagher is after the hard hit as well. Tampa and Montevallo will play 2 more times for the weekend on Saturday and Sunday, as Wyatt will head back to the mound as we get set to resume. Really good news for Callagher. He looks to be all right. Definitely a hard hit to the head, though. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. 2 away, thanks to a really good outfield assist. Still 6-0 Tampa. One thing you got to say is that Callagher is certainly a trooper. I think they're prepping him to stay in the game despite a rough collision at home plate with Jack Martinez. Christian Callagher going down, Martinez going down hard. They crucially got out number 2. Tampa didn't have a chance to extend the further base runners past second and third on the single. And it stays 6-0 in favor of U Tampa. You're watching on the SSE Digital Network. It's U Tampa's home opener, the top team in the nation, currently on pace to go 3-0 for their record. A bit of a delay before Ponce's fourth at bat of the ball game. He took one deep in his previous AB, someone that Wyatt will have to watch out for. And it doesn't look like they'll go to the bullpen just yet. But a move to the lefty might not be a bad idea, with 2 left-handers coming up in Ponce and Books. Also the time of the game where Tampa might want to try to shuffle some players. A lot of players having 3 at-bats so far, maybe trying to get some better platoon matchups on the way too. Only a 6-0 lead for the Spartans. If that extends further, that's when you might see it. And Callagher will exit stage left for the moment. Hopefully, he'll be back tomorrow. But he'll get a well-earned breather after putting his body on the line for out number 2. Really good to see him walking off the field. But definitely a rough collision to pick up. Looks like it'll be trying to tell the number. I think that's Dominic Maldette, the redshirt sophomore, coming in. By the way, Maldette would be the man due up for the next inning. It was going to be Callagher. So we're finally